Hello, welcome to the show, Internet. My name is Bret. These are my friends. We're here. We made it. All right.
We
Hello.
did. Hello.
Let me introduce my lovely lady and gentlemen. We have in the middle there with how many? Did we count the beard hairs? How many beard hairs?
Kajillion.
Yes. We have Nirmal Mehta from 3 hours away, down in North Carolina, and from a quarter of a way around the world. Oh, what is that? Bull City?
Yeah. Durham, North Carolina.
Oh, I don't even think I knew that was like the thing down there. I need that cool T-shirt. And there over on the right is Laura Taco, all the way from the other side of the planet in near Vienna. Hello.
Yeah. Hello. I have 0 beard hairs. So between
Zero.
Normal and I, if you
just stole
average
it
them
all.
out, it's like an average amount of beard hair.
It's the
Half a gajillion.
it's
half a
either
gajillion.
infinity or nothing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, well, thank you so much for both of you being on the show. You are repeat guests. I think you're my top 2 guests over the years, and I thought it was very, very perfect. I guess I don't even know. It was a perfect scenario for me to
Apropos.
have the 2 of you back on.
Mhm.
Yeah, thank you. Apropos. Yeah, because we were on the show last summer together. I think we did the DockerCon thing together.
Mhm. You came to Austria. We did one here.
We did one in Austria.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Like you have it's your show is international. Which is
That's true.
wild.
Yeah, I did one from London one time, but yours was way better. We answered some really cool DevOps questions on that one, so people should go back. If you go back to Bret.live and go to the YouTube history, you can find one with Laura in it, and we answer a bunch of like DevOps job questions. Like if you're going to be in DevOps, you're going to do continuous integration, continuous deployments. Like, what does that really mean for your job? And that was pretty good stuff. So if you have those questions today, these are the right people
We'll
to ask.
answer them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Can we just talk about the intro song? Because I was jamming out to that.
It was
I almost like missed.
Great.
It was really good.
Let me see if I can
do
find that.
you know
actually.
who the artist is, and maybe put that in the chat? Because
Yeah.
I was kind of like getting lost in that. It was a good jam.
Yeah. Was it the first or the second one? The one that was just the waiting music?
The second one. Yeah.
Oh, no, the one with the drums
Like-
and the. Yeah,
I
Or
like
maybe
both
Laura-
of them. So.
Yeah, maybe it was both of them.
I think like the first one was very much like poolside jam.
Oh, yeah.
And then there was a little bit more energy as you get hyped up for things to go live. So
I know Niels van Brecht is looking for
we've
for
got
the artist as well.
we got some requests here. I see that. All right, so let me go into my.
We're just gonna talk about music for the next hour.
yeah, it's very important. That's
Yeah,
actually we can go into like the first of 100 tips if you're getting a DevOps job. I interview for a lot of engineering positions as part of my job, and I definitely ask my favorite interview question is what kind of music do you play when you're working on a difficult bug? I feel like you can really tell a lot about people by what they answer.
I like that.
Bret probably listens to hard rock.
I was gonna say that's the trick question is let's predict what the other ones listen to.
Yeah.
Yeah, like which lo-fi jam are you listening to these days?
I don't know. I'm all over the board. Like it might be hard rock, like Laura was saying. It might be house music. It might be lo-fi, like sort of background music, classical. There was it's not really good background music. It's reminding me that there was a classical playlist on Spotify where I think it was Bill Murray was introducing the song. And I don't think it's there anymore. And I don't think it's there anymore. I'm not sure, but it was Bill Murray just introducing you to lovely, soothing sounds of work was fantastic.
Nice.
I don't know if that's still around.
Nice.
I dig it.
I'm looking up this music here, actually. Yeah, I'll find it when one of you goes on a rant, and I'll post it in chat.
Yeah.
All right, sounds good.
But I use
Normal, what do
epidemic
you
sound.
listen to?
So
I listen to like lo-fi kind of. I can't have words in the music when I'm trying to concentrate. I'm not one of those people. Like otherwise, I'm just listening to the song and like
Mhm.
I get sucked into like what the song means. Niels Van Brett, what did you just see that in the chat?
we got a super chat.
There
Oh,
we go.
Thank you,
nice.
Niels. I really appreciate that.
Amazing. Thank you.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, we get a really lucky little contribution there, and I really appreciate that. That's fantastic. So for all you fans out there,
Yeah.
Niels is it, number one.
Yeah, that's a good point, Dave. You don't want to like have like a
Yeah.
really good song going and then it's like that's what you associate
Frustration station. Yeah.
Yeah,
with.
yeah, you don't
For
associate.
sure.
Yeah. So my
Yes.
bug music has got to be like the song "Happy" by Virginia Beach native. What's his name?
Pharrell Williams.
Pharrell. Thank you,
Williams?
Pharrell
Yeah.
Williams. It's like the official song of Virginia Beach now. You just played that. Do you remember when he launched that song? He created a website called 24 Hours of Happy, and
Yeah.
it was a nonstop video from LA of people dancing to Happy for 24 different. And when you watched it at night, it would be dark, and you watched it in the day, there'd be people dancing during the day, and that for a while. Beth hates how I can just play the same song over and over. So that for a while was my jam. I'd play that website in the background while I was working, and it would be like 5 hours of Happy. It was.
That sounds obnoxious, Bret.
It is. I'm sure it is to someone else. But when you're focused on something, you don't really hear the word. Like you don't hear.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So
If you know the words, that's my
yeah.
thing. Is that
That's-
if I'm working on a tough problem, I need to listen to music where I either know the words, and then my computational power can be focused on knowing all the words, and then it frees up the rest of my brain to solve the bug. Or it needs to be like instrumental. Like I'm a big Yo-Yo Ma fan. Not gonna lie.
That's solid.
Who doesn't like Yo-Yo Ma? I mean, the man's brilliant.
His tiny desk was really awesome.
Yeah, so good.
We had singing pumpkins outside for Halloween, and they played 3 songs on loop. This is Halloween from Nightmare Before Christmas, Deo, and Jump in the Line by Harry Belafonte on loop.
Nice.
For a whole entire month. And so those 3 songs are like ingrained in my mind at this moment.
Yeah. That's rough. That's why I always feel sorry for retail people where they have like one CD looping over and over.
Yeah.
All day,
Yeah.
All right. So Bret, how does this feel having 100th episode?
Oh, wait.
What is this?
Hold on. Are we getting to the interview part? Are you asking me interview questions?
No, I'm just asking, Bret. Like, what do you feel?
It's just an icebreaker,
like,
Bret.
Oh, is this an icebreaker or is this an interview?
No pressure.
Question?
No pressure, man.
Is this the interview part?
This is not 60 minutes.
So.
Oh, nice.
That's great.
This is amazing.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
Go ahead.
All right.
Glad I'm here.
How does it feel doing 100 episodes of something like this?
It feels about like what you'd expect. Like it's a lot of work and it's a lot of fun, a lot of fails. But I'm just happy that people show up every week. People show up and we have a conversation. People ask great questions. And we got another super chat.
Nice.
Amazing.
Very nice. Thank you so much. Also,
it's Pickle Rick.
It's Pickle Rick. Well done.
Oh, he knows his audience, or she.
Oh, for real.
They know their audience for sure.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Yeah. So, I don't have Pickle Rick on the wall. I do have Rick and Morty on the wall, but I need a Pickle Rick. I need like a big plush Pickle Rick. So 100 episodes. It's worth it. I'm looking forward to the next 100. So let's do it.
So what do you want to do in the next 100?
Have more guests. Do less by myself so that it stops being about me.
Less Normal and Laura?
Yeah.
More actual important guests?
No, you're the perfect example. And actually, next week, while we're here, we're mentioning it. Alex Chalkidas is from the Micro K8s project. So we're going to have Micro K8s on the show from Canonical. and talk about their recent new feature they've got the HR high availability feature, or HA,
Nice.
sorry, not HR, HA feature. So he's talking all about that, and we're gonna have him on next week. That's exciting. So yeah, more people like that.
Awesome.
maybe-
Because we're like between two ferns, I gotta like ask like really awkward questions, right? Like
Yes.
I heard that you don't wear socks while you're doing YouTube Live. Is that correct?
Is that a thing?
Would you like to see?
Wait, this
Do
is
we
your
have a
show.
choice?
I'm trying to think about how how his interviewees would take that.
I know.
Yes, that is correct. I prefer no
There we
socks.
go.
I walk to the beach in sandals, and
Yeah,
we wear
that
sandals
direct
here.
connection to the ground.
Yeah,
Stay
you're
grounded.
you're only allowed to not wear sandals here in like middle of winter. So
Hmm.
you
When
wear
it gets down to what, like 65
freezing.
Fahrenheit?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Freezing.
It actually might freeze overnight.
Actually freezing?
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah, we do. Well, last year we didn't get snow. Sometimes we do get snow, but it's for a very short amount of time, like a day or two. So then the ocean winds keep it very moderate here. So in the summer we get the nice cool breeze, and in the winter we get a nice warm breeze. So. But yeah,
What are some of the biggest things you've learned doing this show for 100 episodes? What's like a personal growth?
personal growth. I have learned
Yes.
a lot more about video production than I ever cared to know. Like, for example, this amazingly put together set. You're welcome, internet. I spent a whole 10 minutes on it, and it would not be
fantastic.
possible. It would not
It
be
is.
possible without the internet and all of these amazing tools we have. Yeah.
Can we get a round of applause for Bret and his like amazing video production? Just DockerCon this year was like, I mean, that was intense, Bret. And you pulled
Absolutely.
it off.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
I know a lot of people don't see the behind the scenes, but the amount of work that Bret and Beth put into like getting that DockerCon all day session together was insane. And like just amazing quality. This set notwithstanding, clearly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I
thank
think
you.
there's a lot of work that Bret does for the community that goes not, I wouldn't say unappreciated, but I think it's just not as front and center as perhaps his YouTube Live and his courses. And DockerCon was a great example for that. But Bret's just like a rock, especially this last year when we haven't been able to meet in person. I don't think Bret gets enough gratitude. So
Oh,
thanks,
well,
Bret,
thank you.
for everything you do on this very special day of your 100th episode. It's like The Godfather. You can't say no to a request today. So what are you gonna ask Bret for?
It's like the show's birthday, and
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. And you're right. I mean, like a lot of us in the community, like the conferences are what makes it worth it, because you can see the community, you can talk to them, and you get to stand up in front of them and they ask questions. And when it's all over the internet, we haven't been able to figure out how to replicate that yet. I mean, 5 more years of COVID, and we might be able to have figured this thing out, like maybe in a software, but.
I'm expecting holograms, hopefully for 2021 would be good. Just like
Yeah.
I think a high five would be. We haven't been able to high five each other for so long. So
Yeah.
So like a high five robot, like on everyone's desk,
Uh.
like virtual
Oh,
high
yeah.
five.
Yeah.
That was pretty good. That was pretty
Yeah,
good.
we it's like the never mind. That thought just left my head.
Yeah.
I'm
So
distracted
what
by
are-
all these donations. Kevin Griffin putting in $10. Thank you so much, buddy.
Yeah.
Kevin's
And
been
Eric.
on the show before.
Yeah, thanks,
Thank
Eric.
you so much for getting Bret to buy socks. I've known Bret for a very long time,
Mm,
and I have to say it does bother me. It does
Yeah.
bother me that I see his toes more
Yeah.
frequently than I would
The
like
fact that
to.
you even know that there are toes exposed right now.
I know what your toes look like is. I mean that is a level of friendship that I'm glad that we've reached.
Nice.
we just got
Yeah.
another. You just got
another
one.
one. This is a trend.
Nice.
Sparish or Sparish. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. Thank you so much for that. I don't actually know how much money that is. It seems like a lot, but there's a special symbol, so I will assume it's not 400 euro.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. Like if it's $1, it's amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So
really
wonderful.
Can you recount like a special moment in the previous 100 episodes that like you hold dear, or that, you know, what's your favorite of the episodes that you had in the
For
first
sure.
100?
I think like I was thinking about this morning actually. Having my heroes on, like having the people that I look up to, Kelsey Hightower, Scott Hanselman. That was a big moment on that. I can't believe he actually pulled off the Scott thing, because that was a very last minute thing, where he took over the show, and he was so professional. Like basically he needed zero prep. Knew everything about live streaming, knew all the stuff. Liz Rice, having her on the show and talking about security, like these are the people that I, before I had the show, I was watching on stage, and in the case of like Scott Hanselman, for over a decade, watching him on stage and on his podcast, and just never thought I'd ever meet these people. But so that was a big deal. I think the biggest fail was when I first had my first legitimate troll, and I was reading questions, and I read the troll question, and it was like a violence thing. I think they were threatening violence or something, and I just read it right out on the internet like a noob. I was like, blah, 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 what?
Oh.
What?
So speaking of which, can we just shout out to your community that you fostered over the last 100 episodes and how awesome they are? I mean, honestly, it's a very supportive, non-toxic environment that you've cultivated here. And
well, thank you.
Thank you, Bret, and thank you, audience, for being just awesome and supportive, and there's been lots of people over the ones that both Laura and I've attended and been a guest, where there's other people in the chats answering questions, helping each other out. We saw a lot of that at DockerCon, right? Like lots of people like helping answer questions and stuff, and they follow your lead, Bret. So thank you.
I don't know what I did other than just trying to be a nice person and be inclusive of everyone. But I somehow the filter, it could be the topic. I actually had a friend on last week. And he's a ethical hacker, and he brought a totally different audience. And I don't think it's because of him. He's the nicest guy, one of the nicest guys I've ever met. But that topic creates an audience of like, everybody's like, how do I hack my friend's Instagram account? How do I hack Facebook? Like, and not that those people aren't nice, but it created definitely a different vibe, right? And so just maybe maybe DevOps is like the nice people.
The ethical part of the ethical hacking seems to have been ignored.
Right. Keyword there. Keyword.
Yeah.
So speaking of DevOps, what's one of your favorite kind of DevOps lessons or things that you want to impart on people? Maybe one of the missions of this show. Kind of putting you on the spot here.
Yeah, no, I think. Well, thank you. I don't mind that. Usually, I'm putting other people on the spot, so it's kind of fun. I think that it's. I mean, this is the consulting answer, but everything's complicated. Like everything we wish was easy and everything we think is easy, and I'm part of the problem because I'm like, containers are easy, blah, blah, blah. Not sure I ever used the word easy, but I give that vibe though. Like that vibe of like, this is all the way to go. This is awesome. But the problem is everything is still super hard, and learning things is hard. Like learning the new tools constantly is just exhausting. And so I think that it's not actually important that you understand a particular piece of software as well as it is that you are skilled in learning. So it's probably the thing that we all need to just focus on is how to be better learners, because I also am not the best learner. I don't have good tactics for learning. I just brought a celebratory drink. So I don't know when that time is, but
oh, that's nice. I think one of the things, Bret, that you do so well is that you make it okay for people to be a complete noob and a complete beginner at something. And I think that's why your community is so empathetic toward each other, so willing to help out, is that no one's coming from a position of ego and everyone's really focused on learning, which is something really special. I think you don't get that everywhere. It's nice to be a noob. It's fine to be a noob. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. And I think you really hammer that home.
Oh, I like that.
Ooh, I like that.
Wise
Yeah.
words.
I'm gonna have to make that up.
Put it on my
That's gonna
gravestone.
be when I fancy up my podcast and I have the little like sound bite at the beginning. That's gonna be the sound bite for this episode. So,
Ooh,
That's good.
yeah,
I like it.
That's nice, Bret. I like it.
yeah. I always like podcasts that do that, but they have the little laugh track, funny thing at the beginning. But yeah, Laura's departing wisdom right now.
I'm full of it.
So thank you. So the theme here is it's all about you, the audience, like you in chat. Thank you. You're the reason we're doing this. Like, I am not the kind of person that would be able to do 100 episodes for crickets. I would have given up. And for those that out there that are doing their 100 YouTube videos and they get 2 comments and nothing nothing else, those people are like the most. They are the true troopers because luckily this audience showed up right away. Like the first episode, we had people from Udemy coming over and taking the Udemy courses and showed up and started asking questions. So it was relatively easy to get it all started up. By the way, thank you for the donations that keep rolling in. I do not want to forget you. People.
Alexandru, that's Romanian currency. I just looked it up.
What? So we have Alexandru.
I don't know what RSD is.
Romanian. 50 Romanians? 50
And I should know this because one of my team members who actually might be watching is he lives in Cluj, and that's a fun fact that I have such an international team that I really treasure. But the Romania always throws people off, so shout out to you, Alexandru, in Romania.
Yep. And Mladen,
it's so beautiful.
Mladen,
yeah,
that's a beautiful.
That's Serbian dinar.
Oh,
that's awesome.
Nice.
This is like international.
Mladen.
Yeah, I dig it.
Thank you so much.
That's another thing that Bret. What are some? You have a really international audience through your course and through your YouTube Live. What are some corners of the world that you were surprised to see a student or someone in YouTube Live? Do you remember any?
Well, every time I have to look up a country that I'm embarrassed to not know where it's at exactly, that's always fun. It's funny. I think that one of the things that was continually surprising to me was I don't know why my camera keeps losing focus with me. It's like it doesn't know there's a human in the picture.
You have it's the 3 faces behind you, I think.
Oh, because I have a new camera and it's probably super smart. It's like maybe there's this other face. There are a bunch of faces back there. I think it's actually the most interesting thing to me was that Portuguese is like the top 3 language. So the courses are over 200,000 students in 182 countries. So that's basically all of them, especially all of them that can actually like do credit cards and things over the internet. Because there's some countries where it's still really hard to do, and Portuguese being like a top 3 language would have not even been I think it's number 3. So Brazil and Portugal, I'm assuming, are the 2 main countries for Portuguese. So there's a lot of Brazilians in my courses, and I would not have expected that.
Nice.
Maybe in the future you'll do a Bret Live visit your students like world tour.
Yeah, you can do that on Periscope. I don't know if you've ever done that, but if you're in the Periscope app, anyone on Twitter, you can tap on them and it'll just automatically put them into Periscope. So if I ever did that's probably the only way I would know how to do it, right? Without giving them.
That'd be ideas for the future. For the future. So Bret, what do you want to do in the next 100 episodes? Where are you going?
I thought we already asked that question. Oh, I thought we were more guests and better set design. That's the other thing.
Better set design.
More guests, but is there some, what are you excited for in the future sometime?
More.
Fair.
Answer the question, Bret, and then tell us what you're drinking.
Oh, the more I drink, does that mean the blurrier my face gets? So
I think so.
So the next 100 episodes, I think more that would actually be a really good thing. Have a whole series of students on. I actually just thought of this. You guys mentioned it. Having students on and talking about their journey. I've done that a couple of times. We've actually had 3 or 4 people on over the 100 episodes, but not enough of them so that people can hear the stories of getting started, because there's so many people that take Udemy courses and end up watching the show because they're either in another side of tech and they're trying to get into DevOps, or they're just trying to get into tech in general. And it's always a daunting task to get that first job or to change your career. And I don't know all the right ways. So hopefully hearing the stories of people getting in and how they got started, especially when they're young in their journey, because all of us that have done this forever, we forget a lot of what we, you forget what you didn't know, kind of thing. And I'm looking forward to having some more of those. So for those of you watching, if you'd like to be on the show, if you've taken courses, taken something that I've offered, whether it's a course or any of this stuff, and it's changed your career, because a lot of people come back and say, I got this job after I took your courses, or I got certified and I was able to get my promotion or whatever. Hit me on Twitter and let's make a list. Let's get a list of people to have on the show. If you wanna share your story with others, this is the place to do it. Let's talk about it.
It's a great idea, Bret.
All right.
So what are some? This is Please answer.
Yeah.
Bourbon. I think it's probably Basil Hayden, which
nice.
is a very nice American bourbon.
That sounds really nice.
This is a question for either one of you, Laura or Bret. What are some quick DevOps advice that you would give someone new coming in to DevOps? And there we go.
Oh no. I didn't know you could do that, Bret. Yeah, I think if we're talking about imparting wisdom here, really, you can't expect things to change overnight. And I think that is advice that's hard to hear, because DevOps is often all the tools are presented as these silver bullets that are going to solve all your problems. And then in reality, I hate to say it, but sometimes they actually expose more problems because they're just surfacing other stuff that is then bubbles up. So yeah, be patient. Don't expect things to change overnight. And really focus on those neutral to positive changes. So whenever I introduce a tool, or someone on my team advocates for introducing a tool, it's this neutral to positive change test that it always has to go through. If it can just replace something and have a neutral effect on the outcome, that's great. That's a great way to experiment on it. We're not going for 10 times efficiency gains or reducing artifact size by 10x necessarily right away. Just focus on getting the tool up and running first, and then see how that changes your workflow, and then focus on optimizing it or making it better. So that's my my sage advice about anytime you're introducing a new tool to your team or to a project, is just be patient. It's hard. That's what Bret said before. This is all really hard. So even though some people might make it look easy, just be patient.
That's really good advice, because I think we all want to learn everything all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And it takes time, right? There's a lack of intuitiveness with a lot of stuff that we talk about on the show and in our talks, and in the industry in general. And I really appreciate that advice. It kind of leans toward having more strategic thought around something versus just doing it and immediately trying to figure out why it's not solving a problem or something like that. Oh, Bret, can't just move me around. Do I have to pretend I'm walking over here? There we go.
Yeah. 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 I don't think I can actually have it pop. That's actually I can just drag him around the screen. That's what's fun. I can do whatever I want. I'm in control. Yeah, and I think for these people that are I think the hardest job in DevOps is the solo DevOps. And I bought the domain, in fact, solodevops.com. I think I don't have anything there yet, but I want to make some specific course that's for those that have to do it all. A lot of these things aren't options. A lot of these tools, if you're one person and you're trying to help a developer team, and your job is all of CI, all of CD, server management, and because a lot of these things they're throwing all this stuff at the DevOps person, it's somehow going to magically and a lot of us would just say Heroku. In that case, Heroku is probably your only option. You probably can't do it all. So outsource as much as you can, which is often something like Heroku. But I'd love to make a website where it's like, these are the tools that I would approve if you're a solo DevOps person. And one of them is not building your own Kubernetes cluster, right? Like that is not the job of a single person who's got
Absolutely.
a bunch of, or running your own Jenkins server or whatever.
Can you promise me that the landing page for solo DevOps is that GIF of that dog at the piano saying "This is fine" with the flames behind it?
Yeah.
This is fine, dog.
This is fine, dog.
Yeah.
Because that's what that feels like, right?
Yeah. In fact, I meant to buy. He's I can't remember the guy's name. I actually follow him on that invented that cartoon, the "This is fine" cartoon. That's now a meme. He does a bunch of art on Patreon, and so you can follow him on Patreon. And he sells the plush doll, and then also coffee cups and everything else. And I just wanted to buy one of everything, and I don't know why I didn't buy it, but I need to put it on the wall back there because we definitely need it.
I have the plushie. Solid. Do you remember?
Maybe that's
I
what
do.
inspired
Hold on,
me.
I'll go get it. Hold on.
Go get it. That's what inspired me, I think, was I saw
she just walked off the set. You got to walk off. And she has a fern behind her.
Boop, 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 boop,
boop. So
there you go.
Step one. Oh, wow. That's amazing. I need that so badly.
It's actually a nice size,
I used to, I had him here somewhere in the background, and I have a lot of external meetings with very important people. And one of them commented of like, "That's an interesting plush animal you have back there." I'm a professional. I decided perhaps a different shelf. I still insist on my bird here, my pink bird, which was actually a gift from Adam Herzog, who was kind of the OG Docker captain. Yeah.
Shout out to Adam, wherever you are.
We miss you. We miss you, Adam.
So I think we're done with the interview part. We're gonna go back to the more professional. Speaking of professional, let's see if we have any questions in chat, because I'm not actually sure that I've looked all through the questions here.
I haven't seen many questions. I think there was one at the very beginning.
Oh, it was all about the song. By the way, Beth figured out the song.
So
Beth is our producer. My wife is the producer,
there we
and
go.
The intro music is "I Need a Remedy" instrumental version by Of Men and Wolves. I think you can get that on Spotify.
Nice.
Thanks, Beth. Lifesaver.
Thank you.
And thanks again for everyone in the super chats.
So
maybe we do
Oh, go ahead.
Oh yeah. If there's a question, otherwise I was going to suggest that we ask a question, and do a little bit of trivia.
Yes.
Oh, there we go.
Let's do some trivia.
Does the audience know that there's trivia?
There's always trivia.
This was my trivia intro music.
It's good.
Okay, people. It's let's see. Let's turn that down. Volume is so sensitive. All right. So for you out there, we have trivia. We have prizes. Beth worked super hard on getting the right set of prizes for this audience, because it's always tricky to give away something on the internet. So if you're watching, grab your keyboard, because it's going to be all about the fastest to reply. And now this is the internet. We're asynchronous, so you might see that you're on the top of the list, but it shows up on my screen as a different person in different order. So I'm sorry if that's how it happens. If you're on Periscope or Twitch, your comments come in as well, but who knows what the fastest one is. We're using a streaming thing that puts it all together. So it's basically a shit show. So if you're the lucky winner, then we're going to have 3 prize giveaways. The first one, those of you that have already bought all my courses, you may not be interested in this one. The first one is all 4 of my courses. You get a coupon to have free access to all 4 of the courses on Docker and Kubernetes. And The question, by the way, these are great questions. Laura and Nirmal and Beth all came up with. Question number 1. The way you're going to do it is the first person to answer it in chat wins, and then you're going to have to basically send me a tweet, and we'll figure out how to get it to you over Twitter. All right. Top 3 most loved platforms on the Stack Overflow developer survey. 2020, 2019. I don't think it's changed in a couple of years. The top 3 most loved platforms. Everybody's Googling right now. Top 3 most loved platforms. Stack Overflow 2020 developer survey.
Who's gonna be first?
It's gonna be first.
The first one to type all 3 into chat in one chat message gets my courses for free. You got to type them all 3.
And we'll know
all
if you
3 of them.
We'll know if you copy paste.
Top 3 platforms. Nope. It's not.
No.
Docker is one of them. Kubernetes is one of them. So you got 2, Docker and Kubernetes. What's the third one? It is a little confusing.
So many near misses.
It's a little confusing because
Here's
the platform, like, what does that mean? It actually includes one OS. So if you know it's Kubernetes and you know it's Docker, the third one is an OS.
Yeah.
I'll let you decide. Swarm.
Swarm.
Perfect answer.
Knut, thank you.
Swarm and
Definitely mainframe.
There we go. Docker, Kubernetes, Linux. All right, let's see who was the first one on that. According, let me make sure I get the first one.
Now everyone's
fair. Want to be fair. Let's see, Mihai. Is that how you pronounce it? Mihai or Mihai? You're the winner. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. All right.
Nice.
So, yeah. Air horns.
Nice.
You basically, the way to get this prize is you can DM me on Twitter. If you don't have a Twitter account, make one, basically. Send me a tweet to at Bret Fisher. You can either DM me or just send me a tweet publicly. What doesn't matter. And let me know, like, that this is you on Twitter, and that hopefully your username is the same, so you're not, trolling for free prizes. But okay, so that's prize number 1, and we're gonna do a second prize, and then the grand prize will be at the end of the show, so in like 15 minutes or so. So prize number 2. By the way, that is not Nirmal's Twitter handle. That is mine. Okay, second giveaway. All right. So this is going to be $50 of swag in the Docker merchandise store. So you'll get to buy it. Basically, we're going to ship you $50 worth of stuff. You get to pick it. They got sweatshirts, T-shirts, stickers, other stuff. And the question is, this is from Laura, what is the original name of Docker Compose? The original name of the Docker Compose project before they renamed it to Docker Compose. It wasn't Docker.
And all of you in the audience, Bret didn't remember the answer to this question when we went over them at the beginning of the show.
Calling me out.
Oh my God, look.
We got some.
So quick.
Big.
So quick.
Of course, our friend Dave Henderson, pulling it out, pulling the knowledge bomb.
Dave knows it.
Oop, not Hans. Sorry, Hans. I clicked the wrong button. It's Dave. Dave was the first one out of the gate. Hans was second place, so close, right behind Dave. All right, Dave, you know what to do. Send me a tweet.
What's the prize? What's the prize for this one?
This is $50 of Docker Store merch. So they go to Docker Store, they pick out their stuff, let us know what they want, and we'll get it to them.
Yeah. It looks like Dave already has the best prize, which is like a killer beard based on that picture. So
he's asking a follow-up question. Yeah, he and I are actually in a Docker promo video, hanging out at a DockerCon, like DockerCon 2017, when they did all these videos of us walking around, the captains and stuff. And we kept seeing it in other keynotes, was like this quick little 2-second snapshot of us, like fake laughing, like we're background people in a TV show.
Like you're extras.
Right, extras, exactly.
Good question, Dave. Did we use Fig before it was Docker Compose? I definitely did. That was man, it's hard to believe that was 6 years ago, at least.
I mean, it became Compose like in 2015.
Yeah, I want to say.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty. It was around that time because we were integrating it into Jenkins to do like deployments, using it to do deployments.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in container years, that is roughly 600 years ago.
Is that the conversion? 1 times 100? 100?
I think so.
Yes.
I think it's roughly 1 to 100 container years. And then we throw 2020 in there and then everything's just really far off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The pre-times.
Just 2020 alone has been 10 years of tech. Like, we started the year completely focused on different stuff than we do now. 600 years ago, that was the best video ever. Yeah, Dave's remembering that video. It's always weird getting yourself videoed for a promo because they're like, okay, just pretend like you're working normally, and and then they just walk around you with cameras, and you're like, how is this possibly any good B-roll in this right now?
Yeah. And no one's slouching. No one's like,
right.
You know.
Right. I'm not breathing. I'm standing up straight, not picking my nose. All right. So we're going to have a third trivia, the grand prize, here in a little bit. Next up is we're going to talk about some of our favorite stuff. But just so you hang around, to keep you hanging around for the benefit of the YouTube algorithm, you know, I'm selfishly motivated to keep you all watching. We're going to do $50 at the GitHub merch store because GitHub has some of the cutest, coolest merch around, including plush dolls, Octocats, all sorts of cats. And so we're going to give away a coupon for that, as well as all 4 of my courses. So, all right. So that's going to be the grand prize.
When is Bret going to have a swag shop?
This is not so I've had multiple conversations with friends about this.
And the music, like the music stops.
The music
cuts out.
It's like the scratched record sound. Yeah. So actually, so the artist that does a lot of the graphics for my my courses, her and I have talked about. She and I have talked about. I might have messed that up. I hear Beth in my other ear telling me that I have improper English. She and I. Thank you. Have been talking about this for a while, but it's just an execution problem. Like we actually have a list of shirt designs. Like I want one of my favorite shirts that I've always wanted to have is say deploy at scale one more time, or something. Or I think it's say at scale one more time, where it's like the Pulp Fiction, shot of Samuel L. Jackson or whatever. And it's like, say at scale one more time. Because the problem is in the media is that all that they write about, they don't write about solo DevOps. They write about at scale, doing these things at scale. And like the rest of us are going, we don't even know what that means. And quite often, most of us don't need whatever that at scale thing is. So it's just hype. And anyway, that's my beef. Yeah. So I want that shirt.
It's to make you feel bad about yourself is what I'm convinced about. It's like,
it's all sales.
Oh, this needs to work at scale. So then you feel like, oh, well, I should be doing work at scale. Right. So I obviously need this thing. It's playing with your emotions, trying to manipulate you.
I need Bret at scale.
Maybe that's the other T-shirt scale. Maybe that's the sarcastic version of that T-shirt, or well, that one's already sarcastic. But the other one is, it just says not at scale.
Yes.
You're sort of like
solo, and then on the back it says solo DevOps, right?
Oh, DevOps. Now you're on to something. Free one. SoloDevOps.com, where you can get nothing right now, other than a page that says "coming soon."
Coming soon. Do you have the little construction like Windows Notepad style GeoCities, like the construct? Yeah, built on Notepad the right way, and then Bill Gates is a devil spinning around.
Hot dog. Oh, the hot dog editor. Remember Hot Dog Editor?
Oh yeah.
Yes. The 90s HTML editor. Before we had Dreamweaver.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah,
Dreamweaver, so
so
good.
we should do that. Like, let's work on it. I need ideas, people. Send me ideas for T-shirts. We'll set up the T-shirt store. Actually, YouTube now will let me put a T-shirt store or a merch store right below here. So I'm happy to sell DevOps related
Cool.
merch. I just need some good stuff to get it going, more than just like one or two good things on a T-shirt.
Mm-hmm.
This could be this is great. This is exactly what this is all I wanted. Just
This is all your live
swag from you.
stream. This is your live stream right now. Live stream. I get merch. I mean, basically, what I'm saying is, I will make your merch for you, and as a guest of the show, we're gonna have to start sending out merch.
That sounds like an awesome deal as a guest of your show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like be on my show, get free merch. There's actually the Heroku podcast. They had me on, and they have a really nice ball cap with a big podcast mic on the side of it. One of my favorite hats. I have to get it.
Where is it? Okay,
Brett's
you go
leaving
get
the
it.
show.
Normal. Well, Brett's
Yes.
away.
What's your favorite tech?
Yeah. Are we talking about? Ooh, that is nice, Bret. That's nice.
Isn't that nice? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little dad hat, but Codish, on the other side, Codish is the name of their podcast. So I'm going to plug them because they actually have a pretty cool podcast, and they have a lot of people on talking about developer stuff, and they give you a little swag box whenever you're on their show, and it includes this hat. So yay to them.
I like it. It looks
Thanks,
good, and you
Heroku.
didn't mess up your hair, so.
And, yeah, I've got plenty of
Hey,
gel
folks.
in there, so it's stuck down. It's the 100th episode. I had to put a
Yeah,
collar
you had
on.
to spruce
You're
up a
getting
little
fancy.
bit.
I had to
Put a shirt
do all
on.
the things. Yeah.
I'm glad you have clothes on. It's good.
I did not wear socks, but
No socks, but a shirt.
no
so
socks.
that's good.
All right, so now we're going to get to the part where we actually try to benefit the people watching, other than our silly banter. Did you all happen to think about in 2020? Because we're not quite to the end of the holiday season where everybody does this thing where they list, they summarize the year and they list the best and the worst. Like I always like listening to shows that do that. So I was thinking we could have one work tool, and then one home fun tech related stuff, basically, that you would recommend or that you're really excited about. So, and Beth is bringing me the other swag that's the most creepiest thing in the world. For going to a conference. Can it focus? Can it focus?
Is that your face?
Oh,
That
that's
is my
amazing.
face on a mug.
Dear.
Drawn by everyone who spoke at the this is CraftConf in Budapest. The craft conference. Every speaker got their own mug with their face on the mug, and whenever I'm drinking out of this mug, it feels weird.
I think it would be fine for me to drink out of that mug with your face on it, but I think it's a bit weird when it's your own face on it. Yeah. Don't you think?
Yeah, it's like
just send it to me next time you're in town.
Okay, I'll bring it so I can hand it off, like the traveling Bret mug. If we can't be in physical spaces together, maybe I should just send you my mug and we just send it around, and
That is a great idea. The artwork's really nice though.
Yeah, it is super
So
special.
At least then it can be appreciated by someone who's not you and doesn't look at that face in the mirror, because that's just a lot.
It's a lot
to take in.
It's a lot of Bret. All right, let's talk about tech tools. Nirmal, you go first.
I really, this past year, really like GitOps. It's kind of like this a slight twist on the CI/CD patterns that we've been seeing, and it's around having GitHub, your Git repo, maybe on GitHub or on some other Git server, be the source of truth for your infrastructure, including like Kubernetes and Kubernetes deployment artifacts, and like there's some tools, Argo CD, Flux CD, that do like a declarative loop. So you just based off of pull requests or merges onto a repo, it automatically monitors that configuration, applies it to the cluster, and then it sends commits back to the repo with the current state of that cluster. And I'm really liking this pattern. It's a nice abstraction and a nice decoupling of the infrastructure and your CI/CD. So that's the work tech that I'm interested in. On non-work tech, I love the Valve Index VR headset. If you have the space, VR is pretty sweet, and like just get into that world. The new iPhone has LiDAR apparently on it. I haven't checked it out, but I think augmented reality, virtual reality as a thing, during the COVID times, being a thing might become more of a thing, I guess you could say.
It's a cool tech that we don't have a lot of good uses for yet.
Right. Yeah. And I'm going to do a quick, just a 2-second shout out to a startup that's been developing a VR based code review app called primitive.io. And maybe that's, we're going to see more of those kind of things. So check that out.
Primitive.
Wait. Can you just go into 5 seconds of more detail about how you can have a VR code review app? Yeah. Let's see. I want to see.
This is a VR app.
Are you doing GraphViz?
Is this what code reviews would be like in a hacker sequel? Is this?
Yes, absolutely, 100%. So this is the Gibson. If anyone catches that quote. So this is a tool that loads in a GitHub, your Git repo, and there's a bunch of languages that are supported, but you can execute the code, and it does flame graphs and it visualizes the whole entire code base in virtual reality. And it's a multi-user environment, so you can bring people from different locations into that environment and explore a code base. And it's a little bit of that solution looking for a problem kind of thing, but I think it's indicative of potentially a future where we start to look at data in virtual reality and augmented reality. So
I love
this
it.
This is really interesting stuff.
Picture of the person standing there,
yes,
they're in the thing. If you haven't used VR, this is exactly what it's like. Actually, if you have a good VR headset, because we haven't actually talked about the Index, but I've played multiple weekends of Alex on Half-Life Alex on the Index, and I have an addictive freak. I freak out at that game. I am so addicted to it. It is. I totally forgot about that. I would have stole it from you and said, the Index and Half-Life Alex is my favorite thing of 2020. But if you haven't done it, and you can't even watch someone playing, and compare to actually being in VR playing Half-Life Alex, it is the most realistic game experience. I mean, I was getting butterflies when standing on the ledge. I was getting nervous because I'm a little bit scared of heights, and I'm standing on the ledge in this game, and I'm leaning over the railing, and when you put your hand out on the rail, it vibrates. It's amazing. If you have the chance to find somebody, travel, go do it. I played it for 6 hours in one day. It was just amazing. Anyway, sorry.
And if you get motion sickness from VR like I do, it's also fine. There's other fun stuff to do other than playing it.
Yes.
Man, I can't do it.
Google
what
Earth,
have you tried? I'm curious what
Google Earth in
tried.
VR tends to be okay with motion sickness.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I should try again because it's been a while. It's probably been a couple years, and I think the tech is just better, and also a lot of research is being done about how to make it not cause vertigo and bad headaches and just motion sickness.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, and
that's pretty cool.
And unfortunately, I'm fortunate that I don't get the motion sickness in it. Beth does, and she tried it and doesn't have a problem with it. The one thing I keep hearing about it from people is that it depends on the headset, and it has to do with frame rate and a lot of different stuff in the headset. Yeah. And so in the Index, which is arguably I guess the best one right now, it's the highest quality. So it's the least likely going to give someone a problem. Whereas the original ones are the shitty ones or whatever. Those are the ones that have a problem. So there's hope for you.
Laura, what? Same question.
Work-wise, so currently my company is, or not just currently, but in general, all in serverless architecture, which is so interesting. I work in ed tech, so there's lots of bursty traffic, which is super perfect for serverless. But the one thing that's really a pain is distributed tracing. So I've been relying a lot on X-ray, but one shout out I want to give is to this company called Thundra, which is like thunder and tundra, but together it's Thundra. But they're doing some really cool stuff in cloud native distributed tracing and particularly serverless. So we've been really impressed with, we've worked with them just for a couple months now, had a couple demos, but it's been really helpful for just like figuring out like what the hell is going on. I mean, that's really the question that distributed tracing can answer for you, because there's the complexity just grows so fast when you're doing all of these little things just on functional level. And being able to have one thing that just kind of like points you the path and says like, here's this request and here's what it did, here's where it is now. It saves so much time. And it's also just so cool to see how data flows through your system. So shout out to Thundra.
Yeah, distributed tracing is up there. Preach.
It's
Preach,
so, yeah. It's so cool. It's so cool.
It is. It really is. I think this is the bee's knees kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Especially in these.
This is my happy place. Like when I was working a lot in the CI/CD space, when I was with CodeShip and CloudBees, being able to trace something from like the webhook that we got from GitHub with the push of the commit SHA all the way to like a finished build artifact and just see how it goes through your system and have that all mapped out to you in a tool. And that's the whole purpose of the tool, is just, it's so cool. And I love debugging. That's probably my favorite part of engineering work and development work, is like, I actually really enjoy those really hard problems where I have to like try to put together like a murder mystery, like what happened here. So this is really my jam. Like, this is the stuff I get into a lot. So,
wow,
that would be a great name for a distributed tracing observability startup.
Murdermystery.io. It's your infrastructure murder mystery. That's
I was going to say Clue.io, but that works too.
Ooh.
Sorry to burst your bubble. All the gentlemen that are it's a period tracking app. I'm just going to call that out right now.
I wasn't going to go there. I wasn't actually going to go to never randomly go to a website on live internet.
Never randomly go to websites.
Always Google
I doubt that they've bought the .io. Yeah, they didn't buy the .io domain, so they're not like marketing to like people who menstruate who are dorks and are looking for the app. But I think there is a lot of overlap in terms of like what debugging the system, what's going on, what do I expect?
Yeah.
There you go.
You should have a distributed tracing show, Bret. We need to do some episodes on distributed tracing.
That would be so cool.
Yeah, yes. I think I did. I'm trying to remember if Gianluca was on and we talked a little bit about observability, but that's not, I mean, that's a part of observability. But you're right. We haven't had a focused episode on like how to, because I'm actually confused about, is there a standard way for implementation? Are we settling in?
There's open
how to implement it?
I mean, we could do it. Let's put a pin in that.
Yep.
And we'll come back to that. I would love to talk with Laura more about her adventures in distributed tracing. Not to take over your show, Bret, but
not to take over your show, but to absolutely take over your show. We're doing this episode,
but we will.
Yes.
Yeah. So what was your fun?
So that
thing?
Was my.
Oh
yeah, that was my work thing, but my fun thing. And I know I'm just super late to the game here, but we built a new house and just getting everything set up with Ring cams and like the whole everything. Like I have everything on my phone, the outdoor shutters that we have, because that's a thing here, which might not be a thing in other places, but everything's controlled on my phone. My Hue lights, getting to set them up again. We have like schedules and scenarios and getting my sweet cameras. And now there's like ones with motion lights, which is super nice as well. For keeping the car area safe. I've been just nerding out on all the gadgets that I can buy.
Home automation. So home automation.
Home automation's been I just, we lived in an apartment that we rented before, so it wasn't quite worth it to do everything. But now that we own this place, like, boom, I want everything to respond to my voice.
Yeah. So what are you
Which has
using?
been great.
Alexa? Are you using Google Assistant? What are you doing? Do you have a preference?
Yeah, we have some Google Homes. What's challenging is in a bilingual house, which I'm sure a lot of the international folks who are here, it's like when it's set to German, it has really limited functionality. Like there's just not as much stuff that you can do in German.
Oh,
And then
really?
when it's set to English, then you get all the functionality, but it's really difficult to mix words. So often if we're referring to like a room by the name of the room in German, then the English version of Google Home or Alexa doesn't recognize it, obviously, because it's like we're mixing languages together. So
Maybe 2030.
high level problem to complain about, but
Yeah. So that's how we take down Terminator, right? Speak multiple languages to it.
yeah, absolutely. Oh my God, absolutely. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I can't deal with you. You tell me what language you're speaking first.
Everything freezes. Yeah, it's like, what language are you speaking? But I do it a lot and I'm in a lot of meetings throughout the day. So I would just grab my phone and control everything through an app. For me, that's more convenient than trying to like argue with someone who either doesn't understand my accent or doesn't understand the words that I'm trying to say.
Right.
Which is what it feels like.
When the fail ratio is over 50%, that's when it's like, I just can't possibly do this voice thing. We've done a lot of my husband being home this year. We've done a lot of the same stuff.
Yeah. My husband has a particularly hard time because when he speaks English, does sound a little Terminator-ish. Siri, both Siri and Google Home have a really hard time, so the app is just easier.
That's why we all need you have to have at least two. Like I have Siri and Google Assistant, and because if one's not gonna pay attention, not gonna understand that, I'm gonna try the other one right away, and one of them will get it right. Like lately, Siri doesn't want to give me the answer to weather questions, and so yeah. So you have a redundant voice system. Essentially, is what we all need. Yeah,
that's good. High availability. Yeah. What are yours, Bret?
So I loved both of your suggestions. Mine is not near as DevOpsy, although I would argue that learning basically having a digital brain is important for anyone in tech, because if you don't start tracking this stuff, like there's no way you're going to remember where everything's at. And I'm still actually a huge bookmarker. 30 years after the bookmark was invented or whatever. Mm-hmm. We all just Google things, and I don't know why, but I probably have thousands of bookmarks, but it's my way of validating that that's the thing I want. When I'm doing a Google search, it'll actually show it up in the drop down bar in the Omni bar or whatever. So the point of that is that I talked a lot about on this show about Notion, and Notion is like, everyone's probably heard of Evernote and Google Docs and those kind of things, but Notion is like 5 tools in one. And the way that they're now, there's actually a pretty good podcast I listened to recently that's about digital brain. Like how do we enhance our brain capability with tools? So it has a lot of different, a lot of learning tools, a lot of documentation tools, stuff like that. And Notion is one of those where it's hard to describe what it doesn't do, but the way they describe it in the podcast is that it allows you to make your own software. Now, for those of us that are developers, what that means to us is we think of like Access databases and like Airtable and stuff like that. But this is a little bit different. It's essentially, it starts out looking like some sort of WYSIWYG Google Docs thing, but it quickly turns into you being able to take a document, a bunch of stuff, and then show it in different ways with filters, and you can have it shown on different pages. So I might have like a Kanban board over here, but then it's actually shown on a different page where I'm merging it with other data. And so like even just my to-do list is quite fancy on this thing. And I use it more than any other app on my computer. So I highly advocate it for it, and anyone who's like struggling for where to store things. And and for those of you that are into Emacs and Vim files as you storing everything in plain text, I get you. I understand. This is not for you. But any one of these pages could be a public website. So like you can instantly make a page public. It's super. I mean, there's a lot of power to it that's really great in Teams. Also, when you're in a team, you can see where people are typing, just like in Google. Their little head bobs around the screen because they have their little head emoji or whatever. I'm going to do two because I'm in charge and I'm making the rules here. The other one that I show to friends is Descript. This is the one I show to my tech friends when I want to impress them with a new piece of software that is like rocket science level engineering. And I would say let's all sit through the marketing video because it's honestly one of the best product marketing videos I've ever seen. I'm not putting these links, by the way, in chat, and I should be. So Notion is the note-taking thing. The problem with Notion is that it takes you some time to learn it. So just try it out for a while, get it on your phone, get it on your computer, and then just start dumping a bunch of stuff into it. Bookmarks, your favorite stuff, all your tasking, notes, whatever. And then over time, you'll start to click once you start to play with the features a little bit, but it takes a lot to get used to. With Descript, this turned out, it was at first a audio editing, it was like a podcast editor is all it was. And their idea was you drag and drop in an MP3 file and it'll automatically caption it and create a Google Doc, essentially, not like the equivalent of a Google Doc that you can live edit, and it will edit your audio. All right, so it's editing podcasts by editing text. And then they kept adding features. So eventually they added the ability for it to automatically detect multiple people and know who's talking. Then they added the support for video and then video editing. And now, just in the last few weeks, it does full video editing with all the intros, outros, effects, and it creates your voice with robots. So you read to the app for 30 minutes of like a Dickens book or
just
something.
Training, yeah?
Yeah, it trains your voice over 30 minutes. And I think it's, I can't even remember.
Some Creative Commons. Yeah, okay.
What's Kansas Toto? It's not a Charles Dickens book. Anyway,
Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz. Thank you. That was like
charades.
Best yelling Alice in Wonderland. It might be Alice in Wonderland or Wizard of Oz. I think it's Wizard of Oz. Anyway, you read 30 minutes of this to it, and it will spit back out your voice in anything you type. So now when you say Kubernetes, but you meant Docker, you can just replace that word. It will replace it with your voice. And it even has inflections. So you can say, I want you to do this in a happy inflection or in an angry inflection, and it will change it. And you can type entire documents, and it'll read them in your voice. It does sound slightly robotic, but it's already getting better. So I suspect in the next couple of years, it will be very hard to tell the difference between your voice and it. Yeah.
That's interesting. So what you're saying is pretty soon, you won't even need us to be guests. We'll be guests on your show without you knowing it, without us knowing it.
So it's funny that the effort you have to go through to actually get a voice recorded, that's why they make you say 30 minutes of a specific part of a book, is because they're paranoid about people just taking a bunch of Trump or some political figure or whatever, and then making their voice and then writing it out what they want to say, because they realize that this technology is going to end up with like fake news, and so they're a little scared about it.
Is that why you've had me on your YouTube live for like enough?
Yeah.
Is that why you sent us those paragraphs to read as a sound check earlier?
Yeah, it was a sound check. Sound check of Wizard of Oz. Yeah, for 30 minutes. I need solid 30 minutes of audio from you.
That's pretty amazing, and it's
so
scary
cool.
but amazing at the same time. Yeah.
To have one tool that you can just drag an MP4 into and have it do all the editing, all the effects, fix the words. Oh, and did I mention that if you have, like me, 200 ums and uhs and stutters, it will one click remove all that, as well as any gaps. So if you gap for 2 seconds, anything you can say, like anything more than 2 seconds, shorten it to a second of gap, and then take out every filler word. So it basically, like for me, it'll do 200 video edits in about 3 seconds.
So this is what you're using. Are you going to start using this for your classes?
We are, yeah. Yeah, we're doing it for we were doing it for podcasts. Now we're going to be doing it for our courses. So yeah,
that's
awesome.
So cool.
Yeah, super exciting because it's going to save a lot of time.
Yes.
Anyway, so that's both fun and business. But the fun thing, the last thing, and I'll make this one quick because I know we're running long. Is I got the Raspberry Pi 4 this year as a gift from Linode. Thank you, Linode. I think it was who sent me that, for being on the Linode show. And I got the Raspberry Pi 4 from them, and I made it a RetroPie. So That is a
RetroPie is
project
awesome.
that turns a Raspberry Pi into a gaming machine. And I just happen to have an old Xbox that used to be my retro gaming box, and I have 43,000 games on it. So everything
so
from
cool.
like Atari to all through the Nintendos and the Sonys and everything. So this project is a lot of fun, and it works with Xbox controllers now. Any Bluetooth controller works, so you can use PlayStation and Xbox controllers. Or if you want to go old school, you can build the cabinet and do all this stuff. But this is a lot of fun.
Are you segueing into the last trivia with this?
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh, maybe. Yes.
Yes.
The answer is yes. All right.
We still haven't done the last one.
No. Well, and yeah, if those of you that are fans, by the way, I was going to say RetroPie. There's the new Raspberry Pi keyboard thingy that's super cool.
Oh yeah, I thought that's what you were. So that's what I thought you were going to talk about.
No, the last one. Oh wait. Oh no, this was about This is about languages. Question was about languages.
Oh,
What did you think it was? Because that wasn't the trivia question, but what did you think it was?
I thought you were going to talk about the Raspberry Pi keyboard thing, but either way is fine.
Yeah. So what we're talking about is this new thing. This is not the trivia question.
I like how your 100th episode has turned into QVC.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, we need the music for that.
There we go.
Oh, yeah.
So today we have a very special guest on QVC. We have the keyboard computer in a keyboard. And this is for those people that have a very small desk. Maybe they live in an urban area like New York with high rent, and they don't have room for a full computer. Well, this is your lucky day, because we've got 2,000 of these to sale, and we need them to go hot right now. It's the Pi 400. So it's a Raspberry Pi 4 built into the bottom of a keyboard, and it has a very cute mouse with a very short mouse cable for kids. So it's like a kid computer.
I dig it. It's adorable.
What is it, $70? Oh, with all of the stuff, $100. Yeah.
Bret, it's just 7 easy payments of $9.99.
You've been shopping before. I see you.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Start today. Call us now.
Start today.
Who's gonna win that GitHub prize?
Swag. All right. So let's go to the last giveaway. Thank you all for waiting. I know we're running long. We just can't shut up today. So
today and every day, Bret.
Today and every day. Who runs this show?
Yeah, who runs this show?
Somebody get in here and get in charge. All right, so third giveaway is
we need a
ready.
button. Beth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're about to do
Right.
the final giveaway. And yes, it's a shit show. So this giveaway is all 4 of my courses and $50 at the GitHub merchandise store. So you can get a plush doll, you can get an Octocat shirt, you can get, I just saw that there's, my favorite now is the Grim Reaper cat. So instead of Grim Reaper, the Grim Reaper cat, which is a really cool one.
So good.
For spooky
So
time.
good.
And then there's also the Iron Man one. That's one of my favorites. It's called the something cat, the Arctocat for the Iron Man arc power. Anyway, that's nerd level stuff. So we're gonna give you a $50 GitHub merchandise coupon at their store. Ships internationally. We did check that it ships internationally, just like the Docker one. And the question is, for those of you on your keyboards,
Get ready.
GitHub, on the GitHub survey, officially, what is the most popular language of the last 5 years on GitHub? In all the GitHub repos of the world, what is the most popular language consistently over the last 5 years?
Dun, dun, dun.
Wrong answers only. Just kidding.
COBOL.
Python's number 1. Nope, not Python. Not. Oh my, they're all coming in.
There we go.
There you go.
It's not Java. It's not Node.js, because that's a framework. We said language, but you're close. Wait.
There's a bunch that came in.
Did Mihai win again?
I think they did, but maybe we need to pick a different
Let's go to the next one. Go to the next one.
Okay. Sorry, Mihai, you won already. We're going to call an audible and do.
Go with Henrik.
Yeah, there we go.
All right, Henrik. If you are near a computer, which I'm hoping you are, write down my Twitter handle, or take a screenshot. I'll put it up here. JavaScript was the most popular language, which I guess isn't a surprise since it's like almost every app has a little JavaScript in it nowadays. It seems like.
Nice.
Technically, I'm working on Ruby projects right now, and they have npm modules in them to do stuff. So it's always JavaScript everywhere. Like it's just Java. Even if your app isn't JavaScript, it's JavaScript in there. All right, so
Ashlyn, it's not C.
What's that?
Ashlyn snuck in an answer. She's been lurking there. She said C. But shout out to Owen who said English. That's also a great answer.
Wow. Well done.
That's probably a right answer.
I did not actually say the word programming language. So yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Henrik got it though.
It's my show, so I do what I want. JavaScript and
Yep.
Kevin says
Congratulations,
basic.
Henrik.
Good job, Kevin.
Amazing. Congratulations, Henrik.
Yeah.
Hi, Ashlyn.
I wish it was go. Hi, Ash.
Give it like 5 more years, I'm sure.
All right.
Maybe not, actually. I think JavaScript it's here to stay. So
Yeah.
someone's got to maintain all that code, right?
We
Job
keep talking about
security.
JavaScript replacements, but then we don't replace it. WebAssembly, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So,
Blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
well, all right. Anything else you all want to mention before we wrap this sucker up?
No,
Let's just say thanks to Bret one more time and congratulations on
Yeah.
your 100th show. Well, what an achievement.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
I've
You're
already
an
finished,
amazing contribution to the DevOps and IT industry and educating so many people and making a very comfortable, safe space for lots of people to learn and improve their skills. So thank you, Bret.
Well, thank you. And thanks for being on my show. And thank you all for watching and chatting, because you're what makes this show worth doing. And we'll keep doing it. We'll make it better. We'll maybe have some more advanced graphics than this basic crap that I figured out in 10 minutes. maybe I'll actually pay for something that looks a little nicer. Maybe we'll have some more professional sets or something. And ferns, definitely more ferns.
And ferns.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, people. Well, thank you so much
here we go.
to Laura and Nirmal for being on the show.
And Beth.
And Beth
Thank
for
you,
not
Beth.
being on the show, unfortunately, but always being behind the scenes. The puppy is around here somewhere. It was a big tease that we did not put the puppy on the episode. But we'll be back here next week.
time.
So next week on the show, we got Alex from Canonical, and we're going to talk about
Ooh,
micro-cates.
Nice.
Oh, and we got one last super chat. Niels is back again. Back again.
Thank
you,
Second
Niels.
super sticker. So, thank you.
Here's
so
to
much,
another
Niels.
100.
Here's to
Yeah.
another 100. We're gonna be back here for 200, or should we wait for 250? I feel like with round numbers.
200.
Yeah. Okay. 200.
200.
Yeah. Someday we'll be like Joe Rogan, and I'll have like episode 2,587,
Yes.
Someday, Bret.
and then I will have no regular hair left other than just gray. I'll be all silver. And Nirmal will be with me.
I'll be there for a silver Bret.
All right. We'll have a silver anniversary.
Alrighty.
All right. Well, thank you too. And thank you, Internet. We'll be back here next week, same time, same bet channel. And
Same bet channel.
This has been us here on YouTube Live, Twitch, and Periscope. Ciao.
Ciao.
See you, everybody.
See ya.